Big breaking news now coming in. The U.S. China trade war has now escalated. China has retaliated to U.S. tariffs being imposed on the country.
Now, in the latest step taken by Beijing, it has instructed, in fact, all Chinese carriers to stop taking deliveries, Boeing deliveries to be precise, from America.
In an unprecedented move, China has halted all deliveries of Boeing jets, sending shockwaves through the aviation industry and the global economy. Boeing, the flagship American aircraft manufacturer, has been a key player in the global aviation sector for decades. And now, China's sudden move could spell disaster for both Boeing and the broader U.S. economy. But the big question is, what does this mean for the future of international trade? Is the trade war between the United States and China about to escalate into something far more damaging than we ever expected? Let's dive in. China's decision to block Boeing's deliveries is not just a minor setback for the company. It's a strategic shift in the ongoing trade war between the world's two largest economies. Boeing, which has heavily relied on Chinese demand for its jets, is now facing the loss of its largest market. This move doesn't just threaten Boeing's bottom line, but it also casts a dark shadow on the broader global economy. Boeing's financial dependence on China for its jet orders has been well documented. The Chinese market has been one of Boeing's most profitable, and the cancellation of these deliveries represents a massive financial blow to the company. With China being one of the largest aviation markets in the world, this is not just a business issue for Boeing. This is a global economic problem. But why did China make this move? The decision comes as tensions between the two countries have reached new heights. This isn't just about Boeing, it's a symbolic strike against the United States as China takes aim at American trade practices. The situation is poised to impact not only the aviation industry, but global supply chains, jobs, and the geopolitical landscape. If you're as shocked by this news as we are, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on more updates about this evolving situation. We'll be covering every angle of this trade war escalation, and you won't want to miss a single detail as it unfolds. Now let's break down the full impact of this decision on a global scale. This is not just a corporate setback for Boeing. China's move is a clear indication that the economic tensions between the two countries are no longer confined to tariffs and trade policies. China's actions reflect a more aggressive strategy to counteract U.S. influence and shift the balance of global power. From an economic perspective, Boeing is now facing a massive financial loss. With China's market being a significant part of its revenue stream, the halting of deliveries is expected to decrease Boeing's market share, not just in China, but globally. This will also have a domino effect on American workers who depend on Boeing for their jobs. Thousands of employees in the aviation and manufacturing sectors will feel the impact as production slows down and layoffs loom large. Additionally, the geopolitical impact of this decision is enormous. This isn't just about Boeing's profits or American jobs. It's about China flexing its economic muscles and sending a message that it has the power to shape global trade. The diplomatic repercussions of this move could be far-reaching. For the U.S., it signifies the failure of trade negotiations and could escalate into a full-scale economic war. In the short term, Boeing may struggle to find new markets to compensate for the loss of China's lucrative business. This could lead to delayed production schedules and a decline in stock prices. But the bigger picture is even more concerning. If China continues to use its economic leverage in such a manner, it could lead to a wider economic collapse that affects everything from global markets to supply chains to consumer prices. From a diplomatic standpoint, this is a huge blow to the U.S. The United States had hoped to maintain its influence over China through trade agreements and diplomatic channels. But China's move to block Boeing signals that it is no longer willing to negotiate on its terms. This could mean that U.S. China relations will continue to deteriorate, potentially leading to further trade restrictions and economic barriers between the two countries. On the geopolitical stage, this move could set off a chain reaction of other countries seeking to distance themselves from American influence. Countries like Russia, India, and even European nations may look to form new economic alliances with China in the wake of this trade disruption. The U.S.'s grip on global trade could weaken significantly if China continues to assert its dominance. So, now that we've seen the economic, diplomatic, and geopolitical fallout from this move, what do you think? Is this the beginning of a full-scale trade war? Do you believe Boeing will be able to survive this economic setback? Or is this the end of America's aviation dominance? We want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let us know your opinion on this rapidly evolving situation. But hold on, this isn't the end of the story. What happens next in this trade war could completely change the global economy. Will the U.S. retaliate? Will China expand its economic tactics beyond Boeing? We will be keeping a close eye on how this trade war plays out, and we'll be bringing you the latest developments as soon as they happen. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll dive even deeper into the impact of this move on American jobs, global supply chains, and the future of international trade. Make sure you don't miss out. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when we release our next update. You won't want to miss what's coming next. The trade war just got real, and it's going to be a bumpy ride.